All right, good morning. Today we're going to try to figure out what the issue was last time, which is that I wasn't able to get a user to show up on the database. And yeah, I'm struggling with it and I don't know what the problem was. And what's really annoying is that the last thing that happened was that the deployment to AWS Amplify failed, which isn't good. So, because that kind of scares me that I've done something that has broken the entire thing so that I can't just revert the changes. Like last time this happened when it failed multiple times in a row, I had to rebuild the entire project in a new folder and create a new app on Amplify and all that stuff in order for it to work again without actually making any changes to the code. So I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not what I will have to do. And there's something else I was thinking about. Yeah, I hope I can just undo the changes that I've made, push it again. The only thing is that it took 20 minutes. That's what I was thinking about. It took 20 minutes yesterday or last time when I was trying to deploy it. So if that's going to be the case today, if it's going to take 20 minutes every single time I have to deploy it, just to wait for it to fail, then I'm not really sure what to do or how we're gonna do this. But like as per usual, as per what I once heard Noah Olson say, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's do it. Okay, while we're waiting for that to deploy, we can plan my week a little bit. Okay, so this is how I typically try to plan the week. I go to my calendar and I look at like what the week is, and then I just write down the week on one of these pages. So it's week, which was it? 10 right now. So I just write that down at the top of the page. And then I just write down all the things that I know that I need to get done this week. And then on the following pages, I just write down the days and the things I need to get done. All right, I don't know how interesting that is, but this is the to-do list. So that's the week, and that's then going to be the day. So this is today, this is what I need to get done. And I'm excluding working on this project because I've already started, so I feel like I don't need to write it down. Actually, I need to edit and publish this video too. All right, now we have that. Now, the moment that we've been waiting for is, has this thing deployed? It did deploy, so that's a really good thing. Because that means that we can now go back to the original thing. Okay. last time you saw me was on Friday, and I haven't done anything throughout the weekend, which is like 2 days of not working on this. And just those 2 days means that I don't quite, like, it's sort of like an effort to get back into like, what was the problem that I was having again, and how was I thinking about it? Because it's almost like on Friday I spent time thinking through the problem and like going step by step towards like a solution. And then now throughout the weekend, it's like I've gone back down that staircase and I don't quite remember, like I can't just start back up here. I have to sort of like climb back up. It's going to be faster now, but it's just not, I can't just jump straight back into the last thought that I had, which means I don't quite remember what I was doing or what I was testing. But I think Okay, so I feel like this happens quite a lot when I do this stuff. It says here, in this file, testuser.dart, the argument type string can't be blah, blah, blah. So age preference here is now a string, it says. But if we look in the actual file, then we can see that it is not a string. It's a list of integers, which is what it says that it should be. So string can't be assigned to a parameter of the type list of integers. And here we have a list of integers. So for some reason, even though I save this, and even though I've exited out of the whole thing and then gotten back into it, it still believes that it still somehow refers to a file that hasn't been changed, which I don't know why that would be. So I can't explain how frustrating that is, because it's just like, it's literally not what the file says. Like, if we exit out of this, then we can see, okay, test user, let's open it up. It's still a list of integers, but our error message says that it's a string. This is embarrassing, but I just realized that it's actually down here that the error is. All right, that might have been my fault. But I'm not sure if this is going to deploy, because it's been 10 minutes now. So we're back at this one, which failed in 20 minutes, which is the longest that it's ever taken. Otherwise, it tends to take about 4 minutes to maybe 2 minutes sometimes for them to deploy. But now we're at 10 minutes of waiting, and it still hasn't deployed. So I'm a bit worried that there's an error somewhere coming. Okay. Unauthorized exception. Okay, we're not authorized. This, I might know what the problem is. Okay, this feels extremely unproductive. I just sit and wait for 20 minutes for this to deploy, and I don't know any other way really to test it, to know that like it works. So I'm reduced to just basically waiting. But it doesn't really, I mean, it's not gonna work if I'm gonna have to like make one change and then wait for 20 minutes to see if that change worked or not. That's just not an option. I just keep thinking of that comment, which was like, at this point, it seems like it would be simpler just to build all this from scratch yourself, rather than using one of these tools that's supposed to make things easier. But really, it just makes everything harder right now. It feels like I don't know what to do. Part of me is like, well, maybe this is just what it takes. Maybe I just have to wait 20 minutes for each change for a while until I figure this out. And then once I figured it out, it won't be a problem. But then it's like if, I mean, it just, if each change takes like a few seconds to do, but then waiting to see if that change worked takes 20 minutes, then in those 20 minutes, imagine how many changes I could have made, how many iterations of like trying this I could have done. Something's telling me that this is going to fail too. So, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. All right, it deployed. Not sure why or how come it did, but it did. So now we need to get the identity pool ID. We have to reconnect everything. Okay, this is pretty exciting. I got this message, user created successfully, finished create user. So we're not getting any errors yet. And I think I've connected it to the backend properly. So now we're going to check and see, do we have a user in our table? Which I don't think that we do, because it's just not worked before, but there is a slight chance that it might have worked. What? We have a user! We actually have a user in the database. Finally. And we don't have any user likes, we don't have a user match. We just have a user in our database. It's literally like 12 p.m. right now. I've done 3 hours. This is what I was supposed to do today. Like 20 minutes ago, I was thinking what I'm gonna have to tell or like talk about how it's really difficult to feel like you're being productive when you're spending 3 hours and you're not getting anywhere. And I was gonna talk about how that is actually, you have to sort of like remind yourself, well, actually I've done 3 hours of work, even though I didn't get anywhere. It's 3 hours that I would have had to do either way. So the not getting anywhere doesn't necessarily mean that it's not productive. It just means that I need more time, basically. But now we did it, and I really did not think that we were going to get anywhere at all today with this. But we have a user in our database. Fuck, that's so good. F04, I just want to see what the ID of this user is. So F04, and it ends with AC. And this one is F04, and it ends with AC. That's so cool. That's so cool. And yeah, that's it for today. We're gonna end it there because like I'm gonna just take that win. And I mean, I've spent so many days now trying to get this to work, and we have it working, which means that we can now move on to figuring out adding a couple of users to the database, adding a couple of likes, dislikes, matches, all that sort of stuff, and then figure out how do we create the algorithms and all that stuff to actually match people and do the things that we want to do in the app. We're getting close, I think. I don't know, but this is such a good thing for me, so I'm super happy. And we're gonna call it a day there. See you in the next one on Wednesday.